Are you smart enough to figure out how to make money as a self-employed but not quite ready to pay thousands of dollars to the CPA to prepare your business tax returns? This video is for you. So I'm gonna go over how to prepare taxes as freelancer, and the most important, what to do right now in November so you can pay less taxes next year. Let's go. Taxes are complicated, and as Al Pacino once said, you can mess up many things in life, but not paying taxes, that's what can get you in jail. The good news, if you're solo freelancer, consultant, you work on Upwork, for example, you do social media management or photography, videography, like things like that, that is not complicated. And I can teach you how to do it. And who knows, you might like it so much that the next tax season, next year, you can prepare taxes for your friends freelancers. We'll start with the most important part of this video. What you can do now in 2025 so you can pay less taxes in April, right? Then I'm gonna show you how to prepare taxes. Super simple. It's not that hard, I promise you. I'll talk about problems and risks that most of freelancers have, and I promise you in the end of this video, you'll be ready to prepare your taxes, know the ways to save before year end, and who knows, maybe you'll decide to prepare it for somebody else, for your friend freelancer, for example. Let's dive in. Before we start, let me introduce myself quickly. I'm Kat. I have more than 12 years of experience working as a CPA. I was CPA for Jack White and Coldplay, and I was preparing Billionaire's tax return at EY. So I know my stuff. And here in YouTube, I teach people how to prepare taxes. So please subscribe to my channel for more updates. As a personal update, I'm going to Vegas next week for Intuit Connect. So if you're going, or if you're in Vegas for any other reasons, let me know. I would love to meet. And now let's start with the video. I promise now it's actually real useful stuff. Let's go. If you're watching this video before December 31st, there is lots of ways to save on taxes before year end. So there is certain things you have to do before December 31st to save on taxes in the next year. So let's go over them. I think the most common before year end could be deciding or maybe doing late S-Corp election, or maybe doing S-Corp election next year. What it means, if you're a solopreneur, you work by yourself, so you're one person, you're not having any business officially registered, and you pay like taxes on self-employed taxes. Self-employed taxes are quite high. Let me show you. They're almost like 15-something%. Each year you pay additional 15 point, I guess I'll show you on a map right now, percent for self-employment tax. And that's something you can avoid if you do S-Corp election. So to do S-Corp election, you have to do two things. You have to register as an LLC or incorporate your business. I recommend LLC, and I can go over it a little bit later. Then you have to send to IRS your S-Corp election. So please, here's a link to the videos that I'm going to describe about how to do S-Corp election for a first time. So basically, if you're making money as an freelancer and your net income is higher than, let's say, 20K. Why I'm saying 20K? Because there's extra work you need to do, like you have to issue yourself salary. And here's the link to the video how to issue yourself salary in 5 minutes. And so you have to do extra steps. I don't recommend it unless you're making that like significant, which I think 20-30K net income is becoming significant. Then look into S-Corp election. I'm gonna record a separate video on that, but just know there is an entity you can elect, and then you'll pay less in self-employed tax. And that's kind of how majority of self-employed people go. So that's number one. The next one would be something like advanced planning. So, for example, if you're a freelancer, you're probably on a cash basis. What I'm trying to say is there's two ways to do your accounting, cash and accrual. I'm gonna explain in next video too. Here's a link above, and you can check that out if you want. But if you're a smaller freelancer making up to 100K, up to 200K, probably you're on cash basis. So you can decide not to accept certain income before year end and accept it next year. Then you're not going to pay taxes on that income. Same for expenses. You can decide to expense something, to pay for something, to prepare for subscription, prepare for equipment you need next year, just to pay less taxes. So let's think about it. I'll just explain expenses because expense bunching, because I think income makes sense. I hope it does make sense. So for expenses, let's say you made 100K. And then you had already, you have expenses for 50K, and you're like, oh my gosh, I'll have to pay all this tax on 50K. And then you're like, you know what, I actually need a computer, so I'm planning to buy it in January, so maybe buy it in December. So let's say you want to buy this fancy MacBook that costs like $2,500. So yes, those $2,500 will be your deduction. And if you are at 22% tax rate, which let's assume you're 22%, and multiply 2,500 by 22%, this is how much you will save on taxes. And you can do it with everything, with every single expense, right? So that would be good. So again, it can be equipment, it can be a prepaid of any, like, let's say, subscription, anything you need for your business. You can prepay, cash out, you can expenses. Another one, and that's something to think about it a little bit later, is you can contribute to your pension and self-employed, and the limits are much different for a self-employed compared to being working for somebody. Like 401k, you have much lower limit, but for self-employed you have almost 70k, the limit for next year, but it has to be higher than 25% of your income. Also, you can contribute to HSA, which is health saving account. So if you need to, go to dental, so you'll pay from that HSA account, and that means that you can obviously, you'll pay less taxes. So what I mean when I say less taxes, so anytime you contribute, let's say you contributed $10,000 to your pension, that is not taxable. That it will be deducted from your income on your tax return, and then 10,000 multiplied by, let's say, your 22% tax rate, then you pay 2,200 less in taxes that year. And eventually you can, have those money if you need to or whatever. So taxes, anything related with taxes, pensions, HSAs is actually due when you file your tax return. So you can do it until April 15 or October 15 if you're extending tax return. Hope that makes sense. Another one is charitable contributions. So let's say you really care about the world and you made lots of money and you're like, I want to do something good. So you can do charitable contributions, and then we'll save you on taxes as well. You can contribute your stocks, so that's something you have to do by December 31st. I also want to add something. This is the time before year end when it's the right thing to do is to invest in yourself, in your education, so you can go to conference. Like, I'm going to conference. This will be all tax deductible for me because that's the only reason I'm going to Vegas. I would rather be in Hawaii or something, but I'm joking. Vegas is fine too. So as an option, I made this course, How to Be a Tax Preparer for Freelancers. So this video should be enough, but if you want to learn more, you can check it out my website. Here's the link below and probably above. And yes, you can learn how to be tax preparer, prepare your taxes, maybe prepare other freelancer taxes. So check that out below. And also, as a note, that will be tax deductible, right? Because this is expense incurred this year. So invest in yourself, and here's the option for you. Now let's start with the basics, how to prepare tax returns. So you would need two things: financial statements for your business. Some people use QuickBooks, some people use Excel. Let's start, you're just starting out as a freelancer. Let's just use Excel. Let's just put some numbers in. So let me tell you what is profit and loss and what is balance sheet. If you want more information, I have another video that is super detailed, but this is like a general overview. Let's go. So profit and loss statement is income less expenses. So what do? Income, everything you earn from your services. If you earn more than $600 from a client, they'll usually send you a form 1099. The IRS also get this form, so don't forget to include it, because the time you file your tax return, and if they have more 1099s on file that you reported, they'll send you a notice. So on income, let's put income. I received 1099, let's say from YouTube, right? Like I am a self-employed creator. I don't know, I want to put like $1 million. Let's put $1 million. Maybe in another life I'll do that. But anyways, $1 million, and then my expenses associated to that. So that equipment, subscription, auto mileage, if you can obviously explain why auto is important for your business, like you go see a client or something like that, supplies, marketing tools, home office expenses if you use your home. So let me just quickly go over this. Equipment, let's say I need a camera and my camera costs $500K. Also, just something I'm imagining, because I was like, I wish I can have a good camera one day, but this one is fine. This is my first camera. I'm very happy about that. So now let's say all I need for YouTube, I'm making $1 million. I'm deducting $500K as my camera. And I guess I can include home office because that's where I'm recording. So basically, let's say my rent is, $100,000 a year. Let's say I live like in New York City in one of those high rises. But I can't deduct all of it. I can just deduct the place I exclusively use for work. So let's say I decided that 20% of my house is dedicated only to work. So out of 100,000, I'm deducting 20K, right? So it will be minus 20,000. And here we are, income less expenses. That will be my net income, and this is what I will be paying taxes on. So we'll just go over profit and loss in this video, because that's what majority of you guys need. Balance sheet is somewhere where you can put your assets. So for example, a camera I purchased is my asset. So technically I put it on a balance sheet, and then eventually I expense it on profit and loss. Not to make this confusing, let's make it this way. Profit and loss, that's all you need. Balance sheet is kind of optional. If you're like keep building your business, you can create it, but you use it to make sure that you didn't forget to deduct certain assets, right? And assets is like my 500K camera or something. So that's it on this. If you want to have more in details accounting stuff, here's a video for you, but this should be enough. Now you have your numbers ready and you know how much you made, which is net income for that year. You need to input that information in a tax software. So that's program that files it for you with IRS, right? So let's see what the options are online, and let me quickly show you how to do based on the example we just mentioned. All right, so let's take a look online. Where can we file business tax online for free or just to file them? So obviously TurboTax showing up as the first one as a sponsored search. So I usually don't like to look at sponsored search. I kind of want to take a look later. Oh wow, it says like zero. This tax software start doing tax returns. It's interesting. I never heard of it. I kind of want to check it out. Let's check it out together. Oh, it says accounting software. Yes, with integration, but I don't know. I don't think they do taxes. They just show up because why not? Okay, anyways. Corporate tax return. Interesting. Alvara, that's a sales tag. H&R Block, we heard about it. And then, so all of those were sponsor results. So the real stuff starts here. So IRS does let you file your simple tax return for free, but it's only for individual, not business. Well, I guess it says that we would be able to do it. Let's just take a look what's going on in here. A professional, business, self-employed option to meet your needs. Electronic filing of business tax returns. Let's take a look. How do we do it? That would be really cool. So this is form 1120, 11, all this kind of stuff. New electronic filing. Oh, so you have to apply as a tax professional to do it. So that seems a little bit like something different, because I just want to go somewhere and quickly just, put my information and file and forget about it. And that might be a future, but not necessarily right now. Then we have this Free Tax USA. So it says it's free IRS tax preparation for small business owners. And we have a couple more right there that I'm going to talk in a second. So I did some research before on Free USA. It's basically saying if your AGI is below a certain limit, you can actually file for free. But if it's above, then you can need to do something else. Then you need to pay state filing fee of $14.99. So that actually can be a good option. And free file is closed for a season. Oh, okay. Well, I guess it makes sense. It's October now, but I still want to file. But anyways, I'm sure it's going to be open. So Free Tax USA probably could be a good source. Then we have H&R Block. We have Free Tax USA already. TurboTax. We have Tax Act. Then we have a couple more. Let's go to second page. We have Alvara. That's the same. TaxSlayer and other things. H&R Block. Okay, all of those kind of things. So I went to TaxSlayer website because I was just opening all of them to compare the pricing, and I was like, okay, this is actually really good because I can take a look how much things cost. So here TaxSlayer seems to be that the prices are cheaper. Again, this is based on their website. I don't know what the current prices are, but let's say this is what information we got, and I would assume it should be right. They would not put the incorrect information. So it seems like self-employed taxes is much cheaper than doing TurboTax, H&R Block, or Tax Act. So I say let's go with TaxSlayer, self-employed. So let's go. Let me quickly show how to do it. So first we need to sign in. Let me just quickly put my email. All right, so it tells me I have some kind of guide. So let's take a look at the guide. I'm curious, what does it have? What is income tax? For 1099s, it's reminder. So all the good stuff, I love it. This is really cool. FICA, self-employment. This is really cool. I'm going to save it to myself. I love it. Maybe I'll read it before as well. And I like how they have it for content creators. I'm so sorry. For content creators. Let's see, maybe I forgot about something. So make sure we talk about 1099s. We talked about it. Computer, filming, advertise at home office. Everything I told you about. And I like this one. Pro tip: if you're in early stage of building a following, the IRS might consider content creation as a hobby. Make sure you know the status before you file. The status makes that you make money. If you make money, you're in business. If you don't make money in 3 years consequently, not planning to make money, then you are not. That's your hobby. So good point. Anyway, so let's start. So upload 2023 tax return. We're gonna skip it. So we'll start with tax preparation. My name, Kat KK. My social security. My birthday. Yes, I was born on June 4th. If there's any other if there's any other Geminis out there. Now I have to put my address. Zip code. City. And if you're a full resident, that's actually really good, because if you're not, and now it's kind of, oh my gosh, this is hilarious. Cat is blind. Cat is deceased. Cat wishes. This is, it's just funny that the way they word it. But those are important because there are deductions for your tax return. So if you're blind, I guess deceased, oh, go God, taxes are fun. If somebody can claim you as dependent on return, so double check all these things. Let me see what matters and what is, if you have dependent, to be honest, in a normal people, this doesn't matter. The only thing I can see is that people sell crypto. That's more common. Everything else is just not as much. Not a common, but could be. So don't feel bad if those things are applicable to you or great. It doesn't matter. They can be, I'm just saying they're not common. What is your finance status? So let's do single for this example. And let's do you have dependents? So I'll do no, but if you do, please include them. do you have this IRS identity protection pin? So that's a thing you should receive by mail if you requested it, right? Or why would you request it? Oh, you think you want to make sure that nobody files tax return on your behalf. So in my case, I never requested it. I don't have it. So no, but some people might need have it, but I'm sure you'll know about it if you do. Here you go. Then we continue as a self-employed. So I have to agree to all this bunch of stuff. Full name, KK, continue, KK. And here you go. Let's try income. Let's do it. So based on our example, so we are self-employed. You might have W-2 still because you can be W-2 employed, you can be self-employed, so you might need to include this here. If you receive 1099B, it's for sales of stocks. So if you've been selling stocks, you received that form. You go to, like, let's say E-Trade, download it and use it. 1099 interest or dividends if you were employed. Here's our 1099 miscellaneous. I think it's a good way to do it, to just enter it here. So I'm just going to enter, but you can upload. That's pretty cool. So I say YouTube. And I made, as far as you, so I need to enter the address for the employer, state, and EIN will be on your W-2. All these things are mandatory. Then I have to enter not employee compensation. So for me, in my perfect world, yes, I made $1 million and I'm really happy about it. Let me make sure. Yes, it's $1 million. All right. And here, if you have any state information or federal withholding, make sure to add it. Yes, this is correct. I am potentially could have made that much money. Even TaxSlayer doesn't believe in me. That's so crazy. All right, so we have this. Now, how would you like to report it? So Schedule C. For us, if you're unincorporated business, it's Schedule C. I mean, unless you have a farm income, but majority of us will have Schedule C. Business name. So leave blank if you're using Social Security. So unless you're incorporated, you would just leave it blank. So for me, let's say I'm not business necessarily, not so boring CPA, I will just use it under my name. Description of the business: creator and creator. Oh my gosh, I should have wrote like I am a god. Social media creator and business code. So here's the thing. So basically you can search. Let's see, online stuff, no. Social media, no. Oh, I think I'm better Googling, but let me try again. What could be a video creation? Video rental, no. Okay, let's take a look. Schedule C, YouTuber, business code. It will tell me. Google is the best. So it says to use this one, publishing and broadcasting. Okay, perfect. So I could have just searched here, publishing. Let's see. Publishing and broadcasting. Here you go. Internet publishing. So income we have, then we have general expenses. To simplify it, I would just put equipment in here. In reality, I should depreciate equipment because it's an asset. But for simplicity, I'm just going to put it in here under office expenses. And that will be 500K. Continue. And home office. Yes, home office is really important to me. Let's go here. Expenses for business, home. I was used for daycare. Nope. Area, my total, let's say 20 square feet goes to area used for business, and total would be 100. So 20% for business. And I have rent as indirect expense. What it means, if it's direct expense, all of it would be used related to business. Indirect, it means 20% will be multiplied. All right, let's see if it needs something else. Okay, I want to see it. I want to see that Schedule C. I'm done. Federal, this is, what is that? Okay, let's go select. I know which, how would you enter your deduction? Let me see what it wants from you. Standard deduction, credits. Okay, I want to see a form. That's all I want to see. So this is just a bunch of credits. They might be qualified for you or not. Majority of people wouldn't. If you paid any state taxes during the year, might be something you need to deduct. I want to see my forms. Let's see how long it would take me to get there. Summary and print. Summary. Insurance accuracy, that's really nice of them. So my income, like we did in our exercise, yes, it's the same. 1 million minus 500K of equipment and minus 20K of taxes, right, of a home office. So now my this is my AGI, and here's the total. Oh my gosh, I'm really unhappy about this amount. I will consider next time somebody offer me $1 million, maybe I should not take it because this is ridiculous. I'm just taking home like not that much plus the state taxes. So anyways, this is how you do it. Then you go under e-file. It will ask you, maybe you need to update something, like it says some errors, you need to fix your errors. Then it will suggest you a couple of things to review, and you just press e-file. That's how simple it is. You can do it yourself. If you want to let me know that you like this video, please comment below. Please use the link for that tax software that you chose or I chose for you. And this way I would know. Every time I got an email, I was like, oh, this person used your link. I was like, people are watching my YouTube. I should make more videos. So do that for me so I can do even more for you by recording more videos. All right, so now what people do wrong, right? So let's start with something like income, right? You did not report it 1099. You forgot about you work for this guy. He forgot to send you 1099. You moved, but IRS has a 1099 on file. So if you forget to include it, they will send you automatic letter saying, oh, you owe us more. And it's usually never a good thing to receive a letter from IRS, right? So make sure to keep track of your 1099s or for people that you work for or companies, right? Another one could be like, let's say you do decide to do that S-Corp election. So now you have your individual tax return and S-Corp tax return to do. So the biggest mistake I've seen, people forget that S-Corp deadline is not April 15, it's March 15, it's a month before. So that's kind of the biggest mistakes. Also keep receipts. Electronic receipts are fine. You can submit them if, God forbid you ever audited, which of course you wouldn't, but just in case. So that's important. You can pay CPA to do this for you every year for like $400 to $2,000. Or you can learn it yourself once. And who knows, maybe you also can prepare tax return to your friends freelancer, to freelancers by charging them, like let's say at the beginning from $200 to $400 for something that takes you like an hour, I would say. So I prepared something special for you. I have this online course that is extremely detailed on how you can do all of this kind of stuff, because I think this video is enough, like a general understanding, but there's a lot of I do find some interesting things going on. So I would like to teach you that so you can learn to do it by yourself, or maybe you decide to have it as a side gig as well. So check it out, that link below for a website. Also, what you can get now if you're not sure about course, which I highly recommend because it's really good and it will prepare you for success. You can download the PDF with what things the freelancer can do by year end to save in taxes. So see the link below for PDF, for a course, for referral link for that tax software, whatever you need. And if you need something else, please let me know. I'll try to answer your questions or prepare things for you. So thank you so much. I hope you had a good time with me. I wish you success. So next video, will be about how to do accounting as you freelancer, as a self-employed. So sign up for my channel for more videos like that. Comment below if you enjoyed it. If you're going to Vegas next week, let me know. Would love to meet. Thank you.